Where's the mariner?
He wanted to go to the Hall of Song, sir.
Out.
Is something bothering you, sir?
There are papers everywhere.
Papers?
My brother does like his notes messy, sir.
Well, take it from me. You could... Hang on. Now, what's this?
What is what?
History of Medea. Summarized points.
Sir, you weren't supposed to find that. Please just...
Another one. Calculus. Quite a few formulae. These are rather small for notes, aren't they?
What, Ricardo, are you...
Making a cheat sheet?
What? Oh, no, you're not to... You're not going to report me, Inspettori, are you? I failed twice already.
Depends. If you can find me a place to stay for the night that's free from the mire of politics, I'll consider.
Really? Oh, well, all right then, sir. Prepare to be, freed of the mire of politics, I mean.
One more thing, before you return.
Of course, sir.
If you could go back to the Cleaver and find Amadea. Red hair, tied into a braid, wearing Dieci clothes. Shouldn't be too far from the ruins. Tell her or the registry, would like to speak to her.
We'll keep an eye out, sir.
Thank you, sisters. Orlana, will you please take the chime and place it where it belongs?
Mirabas?
Cicero?
It's been a while.
Oh, Cicero, it is you. Come here. I never thought. Why have you returned?
Business, I'm afraid. I cannot speak too much of it.
I understand. But here? Have you come to listen to some songs?
No. A friend of mine should be here. A mariner.
I believe I heard some of my songstresses speaking of one. He should be somewhere atop the singing tree.
I'll find him. Thank you, Mirabas.
I'm sorry.
A strange choice of greeting.
That mask runner. If I hadn't done what I did, maybe she wouldn't have died.
She wouldn't have been the first mask runner you've killed.
It's not about me. If she was still alive, maybe she could tell us where my brother is. Or where to find the artifacts.
You heard.
And learning how to create masquerades again is huge, I know. But somehow, compared to finding my brother, I say that I'm scared for him. But in the end, it is I that undermines our progress to find him. Razatov is that much further away now.
5 years ago, I was put on an investigation that led me to discover that my brother had been siphoning masquerades out of the Hall of Bearings. I didn't join him in the endeavor, obviously, but I let him go. When the registry found out, and word spread, the consensus at the time was that I had to be punished. Death by hanging was the easiest option, to remind the others what awaited them should they ever place their hearts above their duty. It was your brother that sacrificed much of his clout to negotiate the terms of my punishment. He managed to reduce it from a death sentence to one of exile. Your brother saved my life, Kalden.
I didn't know that.
We'll get him back, Kalden. On your Mariner's moon. I'll promise that.
Thank you.
Kalden?
Tides.
Who is that?
Kalden!
Please, Orlana.
Every marshal that I've spoken to says that you knew him well.
Kalden, who is this?
Inspetore, my name is Orlana Corvale, songstress of the Hall of Songs and sister of Jaxus Corvale.
Orlana, do not involve the Inspetore, please.
I had once tried asking the registry for assistance, but they turned me aside. Perhaps you will be kinder.
Orlana, you must move on.
How? My brother is dead, and I know not why or how, and the only lead I have refuses to answer my questions.
There is nothing to answer.
And so I approach an Inspetore, who certainly could do.
Cicero, we have no time.
Let the
Jaxus is gone, and no amount of investigating is going to bring him back to the shores of life.
But please.
Orlana,
Kalden.
a shadow of my past.
What is this about?
No greetings, even?
Stop wasting my time.
All right. I want you to be a part of this investigation.
What?
You have expertise that my team is lacking.
This is not a good idea.
I can pay you 1,000 crescents.
You don't have that kind of money.
I will once I finish my job, with your help. Amadea, what is stopping you? Masquerades, the blood of the city. This is our chance to find out where they came from. For centuries, the histories of the land have been enigmatic. For the first time, that curtain is being lifted.
Fine.
Really?
Do you want me to back out now?
No, no. This is good. Thank you.
Now, Where are we going?
Toth, found us a place yet?
Yes, we did.
We think you'd be most pleased with it, sir.
Well, let's hope you're right. So, what fruits have your search yielded?
It's a place called the Estiguary, sir.
Is it crowded?
Not at all, sir. In fact, the place is practically barren, save the people who own it.
The owner said the war's done a toll, but he's more than willing to house us for the night. For as long as we want, in fact.
Generous. How much is he asking?
He said it depends on who we bring back.
Of course he did. I wouldn't put my trust in anyone who didn't hold a bargain.
I'm glad you think so, sir. We're just arriving.
Tides. That's...
Beautiful.
All right, Ricardo. I hereby promise never to rat you out.
Sir, we'll go in and tell the owner that you're here. We'll...
I don't understand.
The owner was telling us that the people of the city forgot about it ever since the war started. In the first year of the war, the road that led here was...
Makes sense that people stopped.
What a...
I'm not shedding any tears. The more space we have to ourselves...
He's ready for you, sir.
Right. Let's see.
Cicero?
Hello, Ven.
Wait.
You know each other.
What? I don't believe it.
How have you been?
I should be asking you that question, you rascal. Why didn't you tell me you were bringing him?
We didn't know that.
Well, why don't the lot of you find some rooms that suit you? As you can tell, the entire place is basically yours.
About that, Ven. The twins were saying something about price.
Ha! Cicero, please. What do you think I am? The kind of man who swindles his friends? No, that treatment is reserved for the dastardly. You stay here for free.
Ven, I can't.
I insist.
And I insist not. You will take something, or I'm afraid I'm going to have to walk out.
All right. But remember, you insisted. Now, please, the...
Ages, Lucia. You had me worried.
Is this a bad time? I was out in the Pale Isle when I saw you leave the spire. I hope you don't mind that I followed you. I thought it'd be prudent for me to offer an apology.
The rest of you, call it a night. Get a room, get comfortable. I'm certain Leventhus over here can get you all settled in.
Definitely. We won't disturb. Promise.
All right. About suggesting that Avestus call you back, Cicero,
You can pay me back by telling me all you know about the Mask Runners.
Sorry?
Come on, you're hard of hearing now. You said you were investigating them, yes?
Unbelievable. All right. Over drinks?
Sounds like a plan. So, first things first. This herald.
Fractured.
Lucius says that ever since the War of Bearings began, the Mask Runners have been fragmenting, returning back to their factions, the way things were before my brother.
And which faction has Razatov?
They call themselves the Dactytes. They're the ones we met at the Quiet Order.
Led by the Herald.
Exactly.
And what do you plan to do?
Find this herald and get Razatov back. Simple as that.
There you are. Is she the result of the cleaver?
Result?
How did you find us?
I returned to the White Spire this morning. Inspectori Lucia was there. Apparently, she'd been here for most of last night.
Can't hide forever.
Marshal, this is Armadea. She'll be lending us her expertise in the Dementicate.
You've spoken to her of the artifacts, then?
We have.
So, what are they? What do they do?
We're not entirely sure yet. Our leads in the Cleaver were destroyed.
What are your plans now?
We need to get Razatov back from the Mask Runners, a faction of them called the Dactytes to be specific, and we're going to do that by finding the Herald, their leader.
Direct. How refreshing. And how do you intend to find this herald?
By finding Lysandra Rorik.
What?
The leader of the Mask Runners.
Make a distinction, Marshal. Lysandra leads the Melakate. They're not the Mask Runners with Razatov.
Just tell me which groups I should be taking note of.
The first, the Dactytes, a new faction led by the Herald who have Razatov. The second, what remains of the Melakate, led by Lysandra, my brother's second in command.
And you want to find her because you believe she can lead us to the Herald?
Yes, and Lucia concurs.
Inspectori, those are mask runners you're talking about associating yourself with.
We're not colluding with them. We just need information.
They are fugitives of the law.
If you have another suggestion on how we should find Razatov, please, I'm all ears.
I hope you know what you're doing.
To find her, Lucia has suggested that we turn to a character called the Bloodless.
I suppose that is a smart move.
No.
Lucia didn't tell me very much about the man.
He is a man without honor.
He is a smart man of the Laboris Solis who recognizes the power of information and secrets. If there is anyone that can track a person down in the city, it is him.
The Luca have spent years attempting to locate this man. He's crossed more than a few of my guild's boundaries.
Note that we are not here to tend to the Golden Guild's interests.
You might not be.
You think Favio will be happy with you stopping this investigation just to catch one man?
Oh, fine. I will not act against him.
I do not trust him.
Calden.
I am sorry, Cicero, but there are entities in this city that I do not wish to be involved with.
For the sake of your brother, even?
As long as I don't ever have anything to do with him.
And how do you intend to establish contact with this enigma?
You seem to know a thing or two about him.
I've worked with one of his messengers before. Vasco Tessitore. He's often found in a tavern called the Bleeding Beetle. That is our best bet.
Then what are we waiting for?
What do you want?
You seem
I stick with you for one day, and already I'm part of plans to venture into the darkest...
It is often in the shadows do secrets hide.
What do you think the city will be like? Once we...
Well, Masquerines will no longer be scarce, which means the fundamental threads that our society has been woven from will change. The guilds might not even need to exist. The titles of Contadoni and Mask Runner might cease to mean anything.
I suppose we'll find...
Sure you don't want...
Yeah.
He's going to help us fight...
Then I'll be glad.
I'll see you later. Ven, are you still interested in that hobby of yours? Collecting...
I haven't...
Well, have a look at this, please.
What is it?
I was hoping you could tell me. I have a feeling...
I'll do some tests and...
One last thing.
My lips are sealed.
did you go?
You've seen how he is. He's a good man, Elena.
Even good men have standards.
I hope you're not talking about...
Sir,
Sir, we were just...
nothing.
You were just... Well, if that's...
We'd like to practice the...
Brother!
both of you.
I apologize.
Let him speak.
Yes, the both of us, sir. Meliari for my...
Well, if you want to practice the Visava, you're going to...
Yes, sir, but we understand if you don't want to do this.
Will this do?
Sir.
That's not an answer.
What? It would do fantastically, sir. There's enough space for the inscriptions.
And the blade is more than enough to paint on.
Well, the worst that could happen is I get an ugly blade back, isn't...
All right, just a minute, sir.
Now, a moment of truth. The energies do flow smoother.
It what?
I don't believe it.
Well, if there's anything more I can...
Sigils, sir. Anything that has complicated Dementicate symbols. I'd like to try my hand.
I'll keep an eye out.
If you could find plants of the more exotic variety, I could use their dyes.
I'll bring back anything I can. Now, hold on. You think you could handle this?
Raw masquerade.
I don't intend on getting bogged down with the documentation if I have to go through the registry's artisans to...
Sir, this is basic work.
Good. Until then, have
Where, sir?
an establishment called the Bleeding Beetle.
It's one of our favorite.
Excellent.
Inspetore, if you don't mind me asking, you're awfully familiar with the owner of the tavern.
He was a close friend of my family's when I was younger. Before I joined the Portieri, he shared his purse with us. Helped us get through rough times.
That's sweet.
And naive. Most contadini can't even fend for themselves. What sense is there in sharing?
What sense is there in not keeping everything to yourself? What's the use?
Ah, the stone-cold girl finally shows a sliver of a heart.
It just doesn't make sense.
The street to get you to the Bleeding Beetle's down this way, sir. Too small for the coach.
We'll be waiting for you here, whenever you're done.
It's just ahead. That's him. The one with the flute.
He's good?
Among the city's best. We should get closer.
By the ages.
What do you see?
There, over by the side. That man with the guards. That's Izander Urshel. He's the leader of the Salt Breeders, one of the smaller Masquerade factions that existed before the war.
I've heard of them. Getting Contadoni addicted to stone salt, then charging exorbitantly. They've practically robbed hundreds of families of their stability.
And nothing's been done about it.
And nothing will be done. Not today, at least.
Thank you, thank you.
He's getting away.
Marshal, don't do...
You, stay where you are.
What are you doing?
What?
Oh, great.
Justice will blind you.
What in all the legacies...
That man is
I know who he is, damn it! He has a contract on his head for...
You mean...
Forget it! I see you're with Amadea. You're here for the Bloodless?
Yes.
Then you will listen to me. Izander is a large man, with a love for large spaces. He will not take any of the alleyways, and neither will you.
What do you mean?
You will follow him, chase him, and he will send his guards to stop you.
What are you doing?
Slip through the shadows. If you do your job right and keep him running down the wide street, I'll be able to take care of him once he's...
No guards, we...
Good.
Stop! There's 3 of them. We can take them on. Protect me!
Here they...
Thank you.
Into the light.
Don't let him get away! Stop! I can't run. We have to fight!
Come on!
light.
There, ahead. Going somewhere? Well, well, Lysander. You've been a tough rat to catch.
I did nothing wrong.
Oh, how entertaining the words of the ignorant can sometimes be. You consider ruining the lives of hundreds of Contadani nothing wrong.
They came to me for the salt.
No. You simply lied.
I won't.
A kind offer.
People.
Go then. The Labor.
Hunt me again.
A fair deal. Now.
You think you can threaten me?
So much cleaner for the heart when they fall upon their own blade, wouldn't you say?
You knew he was going to try that.
Of course I did. Stick around in my vein of work long enough, and you learn that people like that never change. But the lot of you clearly haven't been in this vein for very long.
Silence, bloodling.
And you are in a position to say such a thing. You who ruined the entire plan.
As if you even had a plan. You're nothing but...
Lysander Urshel is a man of habit and a man of fine hearing. After every strong performance he witnesses, he retreats to his abode in the dim way, intent on scribing out the music. This is the only time you will ever catch him without his guards, the time when his neck is most ripe for the cutting. So yes, O Golden One, I had a plan. But come, enough talk of the dead. You've helped me clear a contract. I suppose introductions are at least necessary? My name is Vasco Tessitore, bloodling of the Laboris Salis.
And I...
Inspectore Cicero Gavar of the Registry, Amadea Invidius, initiate of the Dieci Sovrani, and Lumbering Cow, mistake of the Luca Infinita.
How dare you!
Hold, Marshal. We've come with a purpose. Do not forget that. We need to speak with the Bloodless.
I'd guessed as much when I saw Amadea with you. Though I am curious to ask, such strange company you're keeping, my dear.
Well, the winds of change are blowing strong.
And the paths of the supple carried along. I see. Well...
Oh, don't stop there.
I'm sorry?
Certainly you'll not quote one half of the song without the other. The branches of death lull to its beat,
and in their wake do the sleepers weep. Oh, truly, what a choice of companion, Amadea.
You know the song?
My brother taught it to me, yes. It seems you've forgotten who I am.
I'm afraid I had.
Excuse me, what is going on?
Nothing, Marshal. Just exchanging words about an old ditty. But enough of that. I'm sure we'll have more time to talk later, yes?
Of course.
We'll head back to the Estiguary. We can all speak a little bit more then. A question, Bloodling, before we talk business.
Aye, sir?
You sing songs and tell tales of the lives of others, yes?
That I do. I also eat and drink and sometimes sleep.
Have you ever heard of a young boy who went by the name of Jabs before? His mother had been a dirge in the Laboris as well, Talia Victus.
Not names that chime in my memory, no. Why?
It sounds strange, but you remind me a little of him.
He must be quite the fetching man.
Oh, if you were alive, perhaps.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It has been enough years for that wound to close. Forget I ever brought it up.
My, what a beauty. Already you're taking me to the good places in Spatore.
Marshal, if you'd watch him, I don't want him breaking anything inside.
Does that include his face?
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
What did you expect me to say? Hello, I was a mask runner. I hope you don't mind.
When you use masked runner code phrases in front of me, that's basically what you're saying anyway. Why did you suggest the Bloodless? Surely you know where Lysandra is?
It's been years since I left the Malacate. He's the best lead we have.
Why did you leave?
Reasons.
All right, I won't pry.
What?
Most of the time when people ask why I left the city, I usually feel like introducing them to my fist, so... Yes, I understand if you don't want to talk about it. Besides, it's not why you're here anyway.
You're right. It's not.
What?
We'll continue this another time.
Enough, Mariner!
What's going on?
Ah, Inspectore. Perhaps you can be of assistance in this matter.
Why did you bring him back here?
We are to speak to him in the privacy of our lodging. I see no issue with that.
Honestly, neither do I.
Do not speak to me of honesty. You work for the Bloodless. You don't even understand the word.
Kaldin, what is wrong with you?
With me? This man is a tool the Bloodless has used to spread his tides of corruption through the city. Why do you bring him into this house?
To get your brother back. Now sit. We are having civil conversation.
I'm exciting, I know.
Now is not the time for glibness.
All right. The Bloodless has numerous contracts, each with varying difficulty. It is my task to judge which contract is worthy of the price you demand.
2 questions are all we wish to ask.
Ask away.
I do not believe you should be privy to these questions.
Agreed. Your tongue is far too loose to trust.
Ha! Understand this, if nothing else. I have not survived as an agent of the Bloodless by dancing through the streets, tongue-wagging. If this discussion is to progress any further, you must first pay me with trust.
The first step into the mire.
Silence, Mariner! You are seated in the quiet chair. You are not allowed to speak unless you come and sit at the speaking table. Rules of civilized conversation. So, what shall it be then, Inspectore?
We wish to ask him the following questions.
Cicero!
Chair!
The mask runners have a figure in their ranks they call the Herald. Where can we find him?
All right. And?
Where can we find Lysandra? Rorik.
For those two questions, I have a contract in mind. Perhaps the Mariner would like to be here to hear it in its entirety?
I can hear you fine from here.
Fine. It is a matron.
What?
I can hear you fine from here.
Explain yourself.
Did someone say something?
Explain.
The contract has been placed on the Matron of the Withering Mast.
Matron Beneva?
The Withering Mast is a ward of the Sorelle known for taking in single mothers with little hope left in the world.
And in doing so has only helped dozens of mothers and their families.
No. She has abused the women, plunged them into a life of prostitution. Their children are not spared that fate. There are some in this city that would pay heavy crescents for a child.
Liar!
You do well to understand how seriously little Boris take their contracts, Mariner. If the intelligence says that she is guilty, be assured that you will find no evidence otherwise.
And if we fulfill this contract, the Bloodless will meet us?
The Bloodless will give you your answers. Yes.
She is a matron of the Sorelle, Cicero. A matron of my guild. I need to see for myself if this is true. I'm going.
No. You have a vested interest in this, Mariner.
But I...
And seeing another Sorelle asking about her ward, it'll raise flags, don't you think?
Oh, you're right. I'll take along 2 of the others. Any more and it'll be suspicious.
We'll await your decision downstairs, then.
Quite a temper back there.
The man brings dark tides, and
What do you have against...
some burdens are better borne on the shoulders of many. Mine are not...
Razatov is somewhere out there, and I need your mind on this. Fully. I can see dark clouds in your eyes. You are drifting from this investigation. I don't want that. Whatever these
The others are waiting for you.
Jet...
Cicero! Ven was telling me we had a...
Livia!
I was out with Damien. We had some errands to run. Shopping for Seho's sojourn. It's tomorrow, after all.
Damien?
Oh, Cicero.
I'm afraid I'm...
Cicero. Meet Damien.
Pa, is this?
That's him, all right.
Pleasure, sir.
What awful stories has your father...
Oh, awful. You're kidding, sir.
I speak the truth.
I'm sorry for taking your time, Cicero. You're busy. It was nice seeing...
And you as well, Livia. You won't be going on...
No.
Excellent. Amadea.
Not now.
I wasn't going to talk about that. I was going to ask...
Same.
You met him as a man?
I thought you said you weren't going to talk...
I just need to know...
We can.
All right. So...
I wasn't able to do very much without the proper... Livia's got them from the market, though, so I'll be able to conduct further tests now.
Well,
of course.
So, how is Fab...
He doesn't plan to stand in your way, if that's what you mean. He's as in...
You think you'll say the same once we find out what they actually...
You ask?
Right.
Look forward, Inspectore.
Settled in already, I see.
It's quite the lovely place you have. Really? It's not every day you see drops of colors in such close proximity. Makes me wonder, though, what strange reasons glue this lock?
Perhaps if you do your job.
Yes, of course. This'll be fun. Here we go, sir. All touched up. Where to, sir?
A Sorelle ward. The Withering Mast.
It's rather curious that we're traveling to a Sorelle ward without our Sorelle.
There are some times when familiarity is less than wanted.
Now is one of those times?
Unfortunately so.
Even the best of the guilds still has shadows, doesn't it?
We'll be here, sir.
All right, this is it.
An Inspectore. It is rare to see a member of the White Spire in a blue ward.
It is only brave if there is a reason.
And there isn't, of course.
And mine you needn't know.
Ah, of course. I understand. Well, I shouldn't keep you too long then. It seems the lot of you have a purpose here. I'd best leave you to it.
I'm surprised she didn't recognize you.
Whatever it is, we need to find evidence of what she's up to. The women here should be able to tell us more. Excuse me, miss. Have you... My name is...
Sable.
And your child?
Why are you here?
Do you spend all your afternoons...
Some.
In those days that you spend out here, what do you do exactly?
The comfort of peace and solitude. The nursing hall sometimes gets noisy. Sasha doesn't sleep well there.
That is considerate.
Of course. I would do anything for my daughter.
Truly?
If you have an answer that you are attempting to goad out of me, ask the right questions.
You are a direct woman.
There is no room in this world for subtlety. When you need to survive, you cannot spare thoughts for the game of questions. You ask, you answer, you move on, and treasure the moments in between.
Is that what life is like in here? Ask, answer, move on? To the next question, the next meeting, the next customer?
You are just like them.
Sable, please.
You're not an Inspitore.
You are mistaken.
Sable? Again?
It is all right, Sorelli.
Well, if there is anything, Inspitore.
You have spirit. Your daughter has been...
You said that I was mistaken.
I am not.
Then help me.
Your daughter?
Beneva.
Lost legacies.
Will you help me, Inspitore?
Yes.
Then follow me. Everything is fine, Asha. Just fine. Oh, and Asha, would you please let Divina know that my room is looking a little lonely at the moment?
Sable, what is going on here?
Routine, Inspitore.
Cicero, please. I'm not acting within the authority of the Registry. Not now.
Cicero. The women in this banco are put on rotation. Every 10-day, we must meet our quota of customers, and only then can we see our babes again. In the meantime, we are given that to remind us of why we must work. When we have our darlings back, they lock us in a room beneath the ground until our names appear on the roster again.
It will change, Sable. Now, I came with 2 others. I need...
It has been settled. Ah, Divina. Pleasure you could join us.
Cicero?
If this plan goes wrong, she will not have to lie when she tells them she was no part of it. She and her babe will be safe. I did not hit her hard, so we don't have much time. The passage to the chambers beneath are down the hall. Beneva keeps those who are not on duty on the first level beneath the earth.
But there are more levels beneath.
When we are on duty, she takes our babes and descends further. I don't know what awaits us beyond. I've never been deeper myself. Now, let's go.
She has taken all 3 of them into her room.
That cape is just cloth over the shoulder of a mortal. A moment come. Her job is done. It is time for us to
Sasha.
The stairs down are just beyond this.
I understand.
Cicero.
Then woe to the men who step.
What are you doing here? Hold your ground!
It's through this latch.
Intruders!
The light will cut you down.
Intruders!
Eyes from the White Spire.
Stay back, Sable.
Finally gathered the gold to try, did you? You seem to have
You need...
Oh, don't waste your words. And you, Inspitore.
Here they come.
But I need...
Wake up!
Into the light. Once again.
I need help!
No! Cicero! She's going after
Come on.
Sasha!
A final chance, Inspitore. Turn and leave.
I will not let willful ignorance cost the people of this...
Oh, you interfering will do...
Beneva...
Enough! If talk will not
Target. Practice.
No! You will see what you have cost them.
Sasha!
You have lost, Beneva.
This is
We've got this!
By the light. You have my thanks.
The mechanisms of a contract.
The Labores are fools. They think to take everything into their own hands.
I am not here for your justification.
Sasha!
Take it in.
Please, Sable.
Stop it, Cicero.
Looks like they're leaving.
Goodbye, Inspitore.
Goodbye.
Leaving so soon.
Zelia?
A good thing you did today.
What are you doing here?
Keeping an eye on my wards, of course. And the people who interfere with them. I am the head matron of the Sorelle, lest you've forgotten.
And you let this pass?
I did not encourage it, certainly. But Beneva had her uses, though even she was not aware of my gaze.
But yet you seem to care none that Beneva is now gone.
In the city, those who cannot learn to ride the tides of change will quickly drown beneath their foam. A few letters of appreciation to both the Labores and the Registry for rooting out the rotten flesh. A promise from one of the lesser matrons that she will take care of this ward better than Beneva. In the grand scheme, there is little that is lost from the late matron's departure.
What is this about, Zelia? Surely you didn't stop me to remind me of the...
It's come to my knowledge that you're traveling with one of...
What of it?
Are you aware that he is in charge of the North?
He mentioned it briefly.
Today a songstress came by asking for...
Olana?
She's asked for his place of residence, invoking her authority as songstress to claim the knowledge.
You want me to tell him?
If you could be so kind. I have a feeling this might be something he'd want...
I'll see to it that he...
Thank you, Inspectore. Now, I best be off.
Let's get back. I have news for the mariner.
And you are certain that it's true?
The messenger that delivered it was trustworthy, yes.
I need to go.
What is it?
Earlier this day, you offered to listen to my burdens.
That offer still stands.
You should follow me. But you alone.
Calden?
What?
Talk to me about the Sailheart. I'd like to know more about it.
12 years ago, I had just been promoted to skipper and had been given a home in the Tempered Tides. It wasn't a big place, but it was decent enough for a whole family, though I lived alone. One day, there was a loud rapping on my door. It was raining that evening, I remember, and I could hardly distinguish the knocks from the thunder. But I opened the door and found him, dressed in the gold of the Luca, standing before me, drenched in rain and blood. In his arms he carried a body, a young girl that had belonged to a mask runner his patrol had killed. He secretly broke away from them and brought her to the first house with lights, not even knowing if I would take them in. That child was Vint, the first of my 11. And so began what you know as the Sailheart.
Sounds like quite the hero. Who was this, from the Golden Guild?
Jaxus.
Jaxus Corvale, the songstress's brother?
Yes.
Come on out, little girl.
Get away!
Leave her alone!
Here they come!
Vint, it's me.
Oh, thank the ages, Cal.
What happened?
Those men, they must have followed the songstress. I think they were thinking of robbing her, but when they saw this...
As long as you're safe.
I'm fine.
You mentioned a songstress.
She's left. I'm sorry. She sounded as if she knew you. When she...
Ty. Please, please.
Calden, what are you searching for?
Tides, where is it?
Calden!
It's gone.
Please, Calden.
No!
No.
What were you looking?
My journal. She must have.
And you're worried.
This way.
What is this? the ages. Whose is this?
No one's. Not anymore.
Armor of the Luca.
Jaxus.
This was his room.
It was ours.
Calden. Songs unsung.
Now you understand.
I'm afraid I do.
And? All right. Please. Close the doors behind you.
Calden, wait. Damn. The sunset. What a view. A tattoo kit?
Zeph drew that.
He told me.
Guessed as much when I saw him leave.
I think I might have offended him.
Did you insult?
No. I just said I didn't know how I feel.
Nah. He's not offended then. Sad, maybe.
You always know.
Yep, a whole lot of us do. And we only love him more for it. He and Jax took good care of us. Better than any...
And you have no issue?
No offense to your mighty cape or anything, sir, but what's there to take issue with? He loves differently from other people. It's still love, and I wasn't taught ever that love was bad.
I know.
But do you take issue with it? The way the Hall of Songs does?
No.
That's good. You should let him know. He doesn't hear things like that enough these days.
A final question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Jaxus. What happened to him?
I'd rather not talk about it. Here we are, sir.
Quite likely, yes. If you ever need to speak to Calden about anything, he's...
Can't say I know it, but I'll be damned if I can't find my way around the city.
It's all right. Is there any other business you have here? If not, we should get back to the Astiguary. I, for one, am exhausted.
We?
Calden. I was branded a deserter of war. I know how it feels.
But earlier...
I was surprised.
And here I was, ready to pass.
Speaking from experience.
My family. Found out when I was young. Acquainted my face with their fists, threw me out, hoping the...
And you proved them...
I never wanted to.
Well, you have a new home.
A home that I worry daily.
Is this why you treat Vasco the way...
As someone in the inner circle of the Bloodless.
And you were afraid word would...
Once that happened, if the Hall of...
What would happen? I apologize for asking,
My brother has no children, and my parents' songs were sung a decade ago. If the Hall found out about me, they would deem my family's legacy tainted. Its space on the singing tree would be given to proper family.
Does you...
He's the one that cared for me after I was thrown out into the streets. In a way, like you, I owe him my life.
And now Orlana has your journey. But what was in it that...
If those are winds we must sail, then let them blow first. I think Vasco should have returned by now, and I am eager to hear what he has to say. The closer we get...
I understand. A final word, Calden, before we lay this issue to rest.
Yes?
You don't have any plans to tell the others about this, do you?
What do you mean?
I mean, I only speak for myself when I claim acceptance. I am not sure...
It's all right.
Thank you. We're back.
So what was that?
Just some Sorelle issues.
Nothing to do with the...
No.
What about Vasco?
Salutations.
Where is the Bloodless?
In his abode, in a ward which I am certainly disallowed.
You said we could speak...
I said he would give you your answers. You...
It's all right, Marshal. The answers...
So they were, and so I shall present them. First, the information about him is conflicted, and the most the Bloodless can give is that the Herald is part of a mask runner faction.
Nothing new.
Second, Lysandra.
Labyrinth of a mask runner.
How are we supposed to find anyone in that damnable...
It will be difficult. The ward is among the city's biggest. Even worse, I doubt she stays in one place. It could take us days.
I have an idea.
What are you asking for?
No.
About?
I heard you mention that you were going through all these troubles to find the Mariner's brother.
Yes?
Why?
Inspectore, if we tell him, the Bloodless will know. Given that he trades in information...
Marshal, you seem to have a disturbingly inaccurate view of the... Just because we dabble in information does not mean that we... But of course, you and your bright guild would know nothing about subtlety and secrets, would you? Seeing how you handled...
Do not defame my guild!
So instead, I should stand here and let you
Enough! The twins have been kind enough to find a location free of the politics of the city. And I will not allow the both of you to drag your baggage. Within these walls, we are colorless. We are here for... The masked runners have him. It's why we're looking for Lysandra.
And what's he to them?
He was researching powerful ancient artifacts of the Dementicate. If there's anyone that can get us to them, it's him.
Artifacts that do what exactly?
I'd tell you if I knew.
I see. Thank you, Inspectore, for the trust.
Now, that plan you were talking about...
The
ruins?
Yes. I can do a thing. Spread rumors. Entice Lysandra with word of a cache of masquerines found. And with the Bloodless's help, and trust me, he will help.
You want to bait her out into the...
In this time when masquerines are so scarce, I'm certain she...
It sounds like a plan.
What's this? The Mariner.
Don't make me take it back.
Go. Do it.
We should head to the pin drop first thing come sunrise.
By the night. I can't...
We didn't have much choice, Marshal. We should get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Ah, I see.
What are they?
My treasures.
Then, the last thing you counted among your treasures tried to kill me.
Oh, please, Cicero. Nala wasn't even poisonous. Besides,
Well, at least these aren't alive.
They're very special brews. I'd been cleaning up the Estiguary some months ago when I rediscovered a rest. As you can tell, there hasn't been much business here lately, so...
Was the recipe any... You haven't tried them?
You know I'm not one for these.
What?
You could try one and tell me what you think. The first to try them.
Your enthusiasm were...
Oh, come on, Cicero.
Why do I...
So, what do you... Cicero! Cicero!
Songs.
Ages. I thought I lost you.
How long?
1 minute and 3 seconds.
For a moment, we thought you would...
I'm surprised I'm not.
You didn't think you could go off dying on us like that, did you? Can you imagine the songs they'll sing of you? Dying because you had a
It was worth 10.
For a man who just passed out.
Yes. The recovery period.
Oh?
It might hit you like a steed at first.
Go on, Cicero. Don't leave me hanging.
As though some weight's been lifted. There's a strange clarity to the world. I can't describe it exactly.
What news?
Indeed. As a connoisseur of fine spirits...
Be warned, though. The initial sensations are...
Well, the Mariner is here to take care of us if we so choose to...
I suppose I could do that?
Perfect!
So,
it doesn't react to any of the chemicals that I've got, and I can't even scratch it.
Well, I can't say that lives up to my hopes.
You're welcome.
What?
I am a collect...
You can... Why not? Just as long as you tell me.
Of course. Thank you, Cicero. Now, I've...
You have something for me?
I promised to make good on our bargain by the day's end.
And the day is almost over.
The lady has delivered as she promised. She has found where your...
And where?
And she has given you them. It is your...